3.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
What is up? Welcome to the, just a picks show today because we're doing NFL and college.
We're combining because you and I were at the World Series last night, and Delco was apparently in Squid Game. Not relevant here today, although there is a lot of weird shit going on in football, which we will talk about today. We're going to be doing some fucking DraftKings stuff today. I like this. The Dallas Mavericks versus the Denver Nuggets. That's a fucking good game, man.
Yeah, that's two like top 5 Western Conference teams.
I love when there's super, like, usually the NBA saves its super good games, like the finals rematch or whatever. Usually it's like on Christmas Day or whatever the fuck. This year they're getting into it a little bit early, and before we get into the football, just some more house cleaning. You sent me an article earlier. The baseball, World Series ratings are way the fuck up this year. And look, Houston's got a pretty big fan base. Atlanta's got a national fan base. Mm-hmm. They're not like the Cubs necessarily, or I think the Dodgers probably have a bigger one as well. But the Braves have been, they had a major TV network associated with them since the fucking 80s.
Right.
Like WGN and the others, and Yes TV and shit. But they've also been very competitive for that whole time. They've had 2 or 3 year stretches where they were down, but for the most part, they had a 14-year run, and now they're on another 4 or 5 year run of division titles. So it's been a pretty successful 30 years for those guys. Anyways, people are watching more, so I think maybe that's going to make sports organizations, the league itself, put more of the better games up front, probably, because it's always a problem with those Thursday night games. Like the first 3 or 4 of the season are just dog shit for some reason. I don't know why. Like sometimes it's a team you thought was going to be good, and they just weren't or aren't, or 2 teams that you thought were going to be good that aren't. But the last 3 years, the first 2 or 3, 4 games on Thursday night have just been shit, and you could tell they were shit before the fucking season started. I don't understand why they do that.
Yeah, some of those games I feel like they don't maybe want something bad to happen to the good teams.
Is it like a warm-up act?
Yeah.
Like for comedy or some shit? Like they're trying to get the audience prepped? No, dude.
That's the opener.
People want fucking football, especially now that they're preseason football is nothing anymore.
Yeah.
You may as well be watching highlights from training camp at this point, because none of the players you want to see play are actually going to play.
Yeah,
unless you're a super fan of that team and you want to see how this new dude looks or somebody, whatever the fuck.
Test out your depth.
But man, that's very niche, and nobody's going to give a shit about it. So I think football needs to get on board with what everybody else is doing, make fan experience a priority. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they're doing it they've done it before with all these other things like red zone and fantasy football, and now gambling, which we'll talk about today with DraftKings. They're doing a lot of good job on a lot of these things, but the in-person experience and the TV experience themselves, I don't think they're doing enough with these matchups, frankly. But we'll get into that later. First, we're going to start with college.
With our top 25 picks for college, we have a game tonight, actually.
Troy at Coastal.
Dan's favorite. One of Dan's favorites. You not a Coastal guy anymore?
That was last year.
I'm surprised by the spread, though. I mean, it's -17 Coastal on ESPN right now. I'll have to look and see what DraftKings has it as. But Coastal typically is a pretty far head and shoulders above anybody else in the Sun Belt, mostly, right?
I don't think so.
Except for this year. So, but I don't think Troy is the one that's that close to them.
No, it's App State, obviously.
Yeah.
It's Louisiana. Sun Belt's kind of one of the. You could make the argument Sun Belt's better than the American.
Could you?
No.
Yeah, you could.
The number 2 team in the country is in the American Conference.
Yeah, I don't think they're the number 2 team in the country.
We'll see about that. That's a fair assessment. Anyways, what do you think about this game specifically?
I mean, I don't think Coastal's. You can tease up Troy to what 23.
Yeah,
I don't think they're 23 points better than Troy. And I know that's a Ross classic, as he used the 6-point teaser. So
yeah,
you could tease Troy up.
I don't know.
WRC Plus doesn't have Coastal Carolina covering the normal spread. Doesn't have them covering 17. Even.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
And actually, the line has dropped. It opened to 18. So bettors aren't exactly have a lot of faith in Coastal Carolina either. Troy is like fine. The problem is this is a road game for Troy. Like if this would be like really sketchy.
The weather's going to suck too. It's going to be like humid and 60 degrees and raining at game time, which means it's only going to get worse. It's going to get colder.
Yeah.
So it's going to be by halftime, it's going to be like 55 degrees probably.
Right.
And just nasty weather. That's why the over is 50. I mean, it's low.
They play on the teal turf.
Yeah. To me, I probably stay away from this one because of the weather. You can't count on teams to perform offensively in weather like that.
I guess they're just hoping Coastal just kind of bounces back from a big loss.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure that the fucking rankings people do, because who the fuck else are going to put at 24? It's going to be some team that's already been there twice this year.
Right.
Because the bottom third
somehow find a way to rank Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, dude. Troy's been pretty uninspiring this year, but they also have not gotten blown out.
Yeah. They do play close. I think the bottom third of the top 25 this season might be the weakest we've seen it at any point.
Oh, it's
bad.
Because
it's always like from 16 to 25 is like whatever, but I haven't seen it like fucking every week it changes by like 8 teams in and out. It's
just pulling names out of a hat at this point. Like we were joking the other day that the people were like couldn't wait to rank Clemson again just because it's easy. They don't have to pay attention to whoever the fuck is in the bottom of the top 25. Like Coastal, for example. They can just like at least be like, all right, fine, I can just write Clemson, and I'm fucking happy. And then I think Clemson like lost, so they couldn't even do that. But yeah,
they're reassessing the offense though, so it's fine.
Yeah. It's no big deal. No big deal at all.
Weather's not really an issue though with Coastal's offense, since they just run the ball and just kind of run little kind of like RPOs.
Yeah, but they're not going to score like fucking. I mean, obviously they're not going to score that much, but this is like a 38 point.
Yeah, over under is only 49.5.
So the over under dropped too from the. I mean, Coastal's blown out some shitty teams. Like they beat Arkansas State by 32.
Yeah.
And I actually, but then because it's at home, I'll take Coastal here. Because I think worst case scenario, you get a push on 17.
I mean, if I was going to take it, I would take it down to 11, frankly.
Yeah.
Because they probably will win by 2 touchdowns, but I don't see them maybe 12 points. But 17 is too much for me.
Yeah, I'll take Troy.
You're going to take Troy with the 17 straight up?
Straight up.
All right. Next up is Cincinnati at Tulane. Tulane is one of the worst teams in the American Conference. Cincinnati is the best team for sure in the American Conference. 26 points is a lot of points.
Big boy number.
It's a big boy number, and it's in New Orleans, in Tulane's. You don't know if they're like.
Do you think Cincinnati's going out?
I think Cincinnati is out drinking tequila, eating muffalata sandwiches and shit.
Halloween weekend too.
I mean,
in New Orleans, we don't know what kind of voodoo magic's going to happen.
I think you probably will see a bit of the Vegas flu here, the New Orleans flu, and I'm going to take Tulane with the points at 26. I think that's a pretty safe bet, plus 26.
So I love the over for this game at 62. Let me read you some previous point totals that Tulane's opponents have put on them.
A lot.
55, 40, 52, courtesy of East Carolina.
Don't let the Pirates get hot.
61 by Ole Miss.
Yep.
Even UAB put up 28 on them.
How good is Cincinnati's defense? I know it's overrated, but how good is it actually? I think we may find out today because, remember, Tulane put up 35 points against Oklahoma. It was the first game of the season, and Oklahoma's defense sucks. But the quality of athlete you get at Oklahoma is vastly different than the quality of athlete you get at Tulane, which means they probably play a little bit better there. They've thrown up 20 points on pretty much everybody they played. Not that that's a lot, but that means Cincinnati has to score fucking 25 plus 26. They got to score. They got to go 52, 26, or 25 to beat that 26 points.
Right. If Tulane puts up 17 to 20 points, I think you're safe.
Do you think I'm safe to make that bet?
To take Tulane, yeah.
Yeah, I expect them to put up like fucking 21 points, maybe. Right. And some of them will probably come in garbage time too, because Cincinnati, doesn't really give it. If they score 50, it doesn't really matter if they give up 20 to Tulane, frankly.
Although we're already hearing rumblings that the college football committee is going to take into consideration who they consider are the 4 best teams, not the 4 best resumes or the 4 best
great.
So they're already
Doesn't this remind you of the pre-BCS era where it was just like, we like these guys better?
Yeah, they're just setting up. There's going to give us a reason why Ohio State's going to jump.
It's going to be Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Ohio State.
Yep.
Don't even play the games anymore. Just make it the Bachelor with football recruits, and whoever has the most fucking 5 stars just wins the championship for like 3 years later.
It does kind of seem like that's where it's headed here. I mean, I don't know if it makes a lot of financial sense, though, for the NCAA to box out Cincinnati. It would be amazing for them to have another conference that has a fucking CFP appearance in it.
It's also worth noting, by the way, so we just talked about this, World Series ratings are up, right? How can that be fucking possible? Because Boston's not in it, and LA's not in it. But here's a weird thing.
The 2 best baseball teams are in it.
Right. Here's a weird thing. College football always does incredible ratings, and guess who doesn't have good college football teams?
Us coastal elites.
Yeah. Fucking Southern California and the Northeast. Especially the Northeast. There's no fucking college football in the Northeast.
Do you remember?
It's almost like everyone in the country has a TV.
Remember, like, the Big East football is like saying military intelligence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those words do not belong in the same sentence together. I like it, though. Yeah, it's true. I don't know if even if Syracuse and Rutgers and those teams put out a good football team, would they – and Syracuse does have a decent team from time to time, but would they really even be a draw? Seton Hall and shit like that? Would anybody even show up to watch that shit?
I mean, certainly...
Because it's like so historically a basketball. Like if Connecticut all of a sudden put up had a good football program.
Yeah. They were in the Orange Bowl, I think, 2009, 2008.
Yeah, but nobody just started. Right. Nobody. People didn't go out and start buying Connecticut football jerseys and shit. You know what I mean? Like Kentucky, they've been good before.
Right.
They happen to be a great basketball school now, but they've been good before, and they show flashes of goodness, I guess.
Well, Dan, the Big Ten got Rutgers to lock down that New York market.
Everybody in the Big Apple loves Rutgers football.
Yeah.
The only 2 Northeastern teams that I could see being a huge TV rating draw are the service academies.
Maybe. I mean, I actually think Syracuse could, right? Because it's ACC and ACC people like football, but you're asking a lot of Southerners to watch a New York football team. And I'm not sure if I don't know if they can handle that emotionally. You know what I mean? Anyways, we got those bets in. Michigan State, Michigan. This is a big game.
This is an awesome game.
I don't know if it's going to be a good game or not, but it's a big fucking game. These teams are both undefeated right now. This is the first time Michigan and Michigan State have met undefeated in quite a while. Yeah. As a matter of fact. And Michigan State historically pretty decent run game, pretty decent defense. Michigan, it depends on the year, but they usually have really good linebackers, I'll say that. What is it this year that's going to happen? This is a low over for Michigan, but probably a normal over for Michigan State.
I think it's too low.
It might be. 50.5 seems low. That's a 25-26 game. You beat that.
They both run the shit out of the ball, but both their run defenses aren't super great. So, I mean, I could see this being like both them in the 30s.
Weather's going to be decent. It's going to be 54 degrees, but that's in East Lansing. No weather, no rain, no bullshit. So that's perfect football weather, really.
Yeah, it's a perfect like fall day for football.
What do you expect to happen here? I mean, it's Michigan at Michigan State, so that's some advantage, I suppose. But East Lansing is not that far away, right? So, I mean, it's not even a day trip. It's like a fucking afternoon trip.
The first thing that jumps out to me is, man, the Big Ten gets so fucked with game times. Like, this should be at night.
Is this a big noon kickoff?
Yeah, probably.
Is this college game day? It's got to be, right?
College game day is actually going to that.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the noon game, but fuck, man, that sucks.
Yeah. Like, what's a 6? And meanwhile, Penn State, Ohio State's like the 6:30 game. Like, what? And then North Carolina, Notre Dame. That'll be on NBC, I guess. But like, fuck, man. Like, give them a night slot. This is ridiculous.
This should definitely be the 8:00 game.
Yeah,
you would think. But
I kind of like Michigan State straight up. Kind of think they pull the upset.
Tell me why. Is it because Harbaugh is the coach of Michigan and he always fucks it up?
Yeah, I like the home game too. This is just like a massive rivalry. Michigan State, who's their Heisman running back?
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I love Kenneth Walker. Whereas, like, I don't. They're the one with the biggest star as far as that goes. Like, I don't know, man. I like the home upset here in a like heated ass rivalry game, and they're a little thirstier for like success than Michigan is.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the only team that Michigan State's played that is any real good, that has more than one squad that is actually good, right, is probably Miami.
And they're not that good. No.
But when they did play them, they handled them pretty well. I don't think Miami is nearly as good as Michigan, so you're probably looking at a much closer game. Probably looking at 2 scores in the mid-20s, I would guess, which makes this over close. One of them's got to break out and score, though, right? You would think.
The only thing that concerns me with Michigan is all my Michigan friends don't like their quarterback, and that is typically not the case. Usually they talk up a really shitty quarterback like Joe Milton. They seem to hate McNamara, so I'm just going to assume he's good because they dislike him significantly. Maybe this is different for Michigan. Although I will take Michigan State in the points. I'll take 4 just because it's too many points, and they're home, and Michigan probably wins by a field goal.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 point game. Yeah, probably last possession situation as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's 4. So what? Basically, 3 would be a pick'em-esque because you get kind of 3 points for your home field.
Well, no, it would be -3 Michigan State. So this is like +7. This is basically like a +7 for Michigan State.
Yeah, which is weird to me. I don't think Michigan is a full touchdown better than Michigan State.
I wouldn't have put it that way, but look, Vegas has been extremely accurate on a bunch of weird ass games this year.
Yeah.
And I'm not inclined to bet against them, so I'm gonna take half a point and take Michigan at 3.5 and see what happens.
All right, there you go. Next up, we got Iowa at Wisconsin. Iowa, maybe the worst top 10 team of my life.
Seriously, they're going to get beat by Wisconsin this week.
They're not even favored.
Yeah, when I saw this game on the schedule, I'm like, damn, I'm going to take the Wisconsin money line. And I look, I'm like, fuck. It's -3.5 Wisconsin. You kidding me?
That line's scary.
Son of a bitch, dude. And the over is 36.5.
That is fucking gross.
I think the lowest I've ever seen is 34.5. This is close to the lowest spread or the lowest point total I've ever seen.
I want this to be a 5-3 game.
It might be. It might be, seriously, a fucking over in the teens. So I'm going to take the fucking under on this at 36.5 because I think these teams both suck. I don't give a shit. I also think it'll be funny whether I win or not. If I do win, it'll be a very nice notch in my belt to say I've won an under on a 36.5 bet before. So fuck you.
You were brave enough to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, brave enough to risk nothing.
Braver than most troops.
Well, I've got a story about that offline for you guys after the show. It involves a man named Ric Flair, as a matter of fact. Later, yeah. Woo! Next up, Texas at Baylor. This is even when Texas is good, this is a fucking super tough game for them. Baylor is getting giving up 3 points. Fuck yeah, I'm taking that.
Yeah,
Baylor -3 all fucking day.
All
you
fucking
kidding me?
day. They're
Baylor's
gonna
good.
fuck Texas up.
I'll take the over though. I think they're gonna dump in points.
61.5. That's 30-32 game.
Yeah, Texas defense stinks.
Baylor's defense is okay.
Yeah, Baylor has actually like a pretty decent defense. So it's really, 24 to BYU is not bad.
But Bijan Robinson at Texas, man, that dude can run the fucking ball, can he? He's going to hit 1,000 yards in this game probably.
He just seems to fall off a cliff in the second half, though. I don't know if
I think
doesn't give him the ball or
it's
what.
because they're losing in the second half and they can't afford to run the goddamn ball anymore. Jesus Christ, what a fucking joke. I guess they didn't really have any other options for coaches.
Man, this is gonna be brutal for Texas because you can't have this type of season when you announce that you're leaving.
Yeah, and when you're bringing in a new coach, or you've brought in a new coach rather. You lose to Oklahoma. You lose to Oklahoma State. You're going to lose to Baylor.
You get
3 games in a row.
Get fucking boat raced by Arkansas.
Seriously, dude. No shit. And there's a good chance they lose to Iowa State as well. 4 in a row to either a rival team or a team in your fucking conference, and you're trying to jump conferences to a big boy conference.
And you're still paying Herman?
Yeah, you're paying him not to be there. So congratulations, Texas football. You suck.
And you replaced Herman with maybe a worse Herman?
This is one of the schools, by the way, just if you want like an X factor in it, that Texas could have fucked the hardest had the Big 12 not slapped together enough major schools to keep surviving. Yeah. Because no other conference wants to take Baylor.
No, it's like if Sunbelt started to do the same thing, like if they were moving up to American or something like that or whatever, and nobody's going to take App State because they're that one asshole. that always fuck somebody's season up. It's like they're like the Purdue of fucking of the East
Someone
Coast.
would take Baylor for the basketball program.
No, because here's the thing. I'm not even talking about fucking sports.
But you don't have to.
I know
you're
talking about.
I'm talking about the Jesus stuff.
Oh, the Waco stuff.
I'm talking about the creepy. I'm talking about Art Briles. I'm talking about them kind of being Baptist BYU with a lot of creepy shit going on.
Yeah.
Like
it's kind of like a very successful athletics program at. Oh shit! What was
no one wants to touch Liberty. I mean all that shit
Liberty
came
University.
out this week.
There was another one, Bob Jones University in South Carolina. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember they every now and again would show up and stuff, but the thing they're most known for is prohibiting interracial dating on their campus. So the local radio station used to send one of their hosts, this woman host, and her boyfriend was a black dude, just to walk around campus holding hands all the time. And people would be like, what the fuck? And then somebody from the administration eventually would come up and tell them to stop. Like,
good Lord.
This was in the mid-'90s. So that's where I'm from, folks. Next up, we've got Miami at Pittsburgh. This is a fun game for me because I love looking at this and seeing Miami going into Pittsburgh and giving up getting 9
That's
fucking
so
points, dude. Holy shit. Like, this is probably the highest spread in Pittsburgh's favor in the history of this game. Since they've both been in the ACC,
yeah,
right. They probably only played 4 or 5 times in the ACC, something like that. Not many. Pitt's only been there since 2013.
Yeah, because they were a Big East team.
Yeah, Big East football.
Actually, Miami was Big East too, though.
They were. That's true.
So they played a lot.
2005, I think.
Was it 05?
Miami came over before Pitt did, for sure.
So they've probably played in modern college football 4 or 5
Also,
times.
Pitt was super relevant right before Miami took off in the 80s.
Pittsburgh used to have a good fucking football
Pitt won
team.
the Natty in, 79?
I mean...
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, even in the early 2000s, they strung together some pretty decent teams.
They did. I mean, they had Larry Fitzgerald back in the day. I mean, obviously, Dan Marino from way back in the day.
Yeah, that's when they were successful, he was talking about. But this is really funny. Not touching it, though. I don't trust Pittsburgh enough to put up... Miami is one of those teams that has... They have so many naturally gifted weapons that shit can just go wrong for the other team sometimes just by that. And I'm not betting that shit. Fuck that.
One thing I like is I actually think
it's like I wouldn't take somebody against LeBron in a slam dunk contest, although I'm pretty sure that his lack of creativity and his fear of looking stupid would prevent him from winning, but he's still so much more athletic than everybody else. You can't bet against him in that competition. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about this. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What do you think, Dan?
That's so many points, right?
It's 9 points is a lot of points. It's a lot.
I'll take Miami here.
I kind of like the over. Pitt scores, and then Miami, their last couple of games, 31, 42, 28.
How's Pitt's defense, though?
Pretty good.
It's okay.
I mean, you can't really... I mean, they held Clemson to 17, which isn't really hard this year.
Yeah,
that is.
Virginia Tech has no offense. They held them to 7. Georgia Tech scored 21 on them.
They haven't played a team with a good defense yet, so there's no. With a good offense.
No, they haven't played a team with a good offense since Western Michigan, who dropped 44 on them.
Yeah.
They did lose to Western Michigan.
Yeah, and Tennessee put up 34. Although Tennessee's
they have a good offense.
Their offense isn't terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not betting this game. There's no fucking way. Bob?
I like the over.
The over?
I like the over. I think both of these teams can and maybe will score 30 or one's,
I mean, Kenny Pickett, sneaky Heisman candidacy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if he does in the second half of the season what he did in the first, and they remain successful and they go into the ACC championship game, which it looks like they probably will, he's got as good a shot as anybody else. I really still feel like there's no clear front runner for Heisman.
No, it feels like one of those years where they just shouldn't give it out.
That's why I told you I took Caleb Williams midway through the season.
Dude, there is an award where they don't give it out every year, right? Like, I forget what it is, but it's like if there's no one deserving, they just won't give it.
I don't know about that, but they shouldn't give. They definitely shouldn't give it to anybody.
This is gonna be a weak ass Heisman winner.
Yeah,
like that gets to live in the fictional Heisman house.
Yeah, it'll be like that year that Terry Pendleton won National League MVP with 21 home runs or some shit.
Or Jimmy Rollins, as you guys like to point out.
Yeah.
Next up, Iowa State at West Virginia. This is a tough game for Iowa State. We've seen recently how difficult it can be to play in Morgantown. They've got some weird fucking hillbilly witchcraft up there, and it's not an easy place to play. I thought TCU would beat them. Baylor handled them pretty well, but that was in Baylor.
They did get upset by Tech at home.
Yeah, they got upset. Like, Tech beating them at home was one thing, but fucking, man, that game was a lot closer than I thought it would be. The Mountaineers are not that great.
No.
And
I don't know what's going on with Neil Brown building that program.
And this is part of the season where Matt Campbell gets the boys revved up. He starts getting other job offers. He goes on like a 6-game win streak. Not today, though.
No.
I'm taking West Virginia.
Yeah, I think West Virginia +7 is probably the bet here.
I agree. I think it's an earlier game too. I think it just gets kind of, it's just going to be slow and ugly. Like, it's just not. I don't think a team's going to be able to separate itself by that many points.
Separate but equal, yeah. I think the next game, this one's interesting. This spread doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's Georgia at Florida, which may play some role here.
Smash.
Yeah. It's -14 Georgia. I'm like, all day I'm taking
all
Georgia
fucking
-14.
day.
Rivalry.
Florida may not score a goddamn point in this game.
This is incredible.
No.
What do you think?
I'm taking Florida.
You're crazy.
Throw the record books out.
I'm not worried about the record book. I'm worried about Georgia's fucking defense.
Yeah, I am too. And Florida's going to have to, pull some gadget tricks and just pull out the kitchen sink for this.
Do you think they do that? I mean, that's probably how you handle a defense as good as Georgia. You try to do some – I mean, it's almost like
just do weird
shoving
shit.
Somebody to create some space before you start fighting again so you can swing your arms again. You got to do something to get them off balance. It's like throwing a changeup that you never throw, but you throw it once as a show pitch.
Yeah.
And you come back and throw your normal game. Maybe that's the secret here.
And Dan Mullen's starting to get – his seat's getting a little hot in Gainesville for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, Emory Jones is a surprise this year. He's honestly, I mean, he's a fucking multi-back guy. He's
ask any Florida fan, he is not their favorite quarterback on the roster.
Probably not their favorite quarterback. But what the fuck do Florida fans know about quarterbacks, man? I mean, Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
He could win games in college. You know what I mean?
Chris Leak liked looking at child porn.
No, he was cleared.
Oh, he was cleared?
Yeah, don't fucking drag Chris Leak's name through the mud.
Well, I blame him for not doing a better job of letting me know that he doesn't.
I'm pretty sure Chris
porn.
Leak has dragged his own name through the mud more than anybody else has had the opportunity to do that.
Jesse Palmer, I believe, went to Florida.
The Bachelor, he did.
He's got nice hair.
Great hair.
He's actually a good dude too. I like.
He's a very
Jesse
good
Palmer,
looking man.
Surprisingly humongous too.
Yeah, he is a fucking You hear that somebody is 6'4" or 6'5", and you know what that looks like. But then it's like a full man at that size.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's chiseled the whole way down, and you're like, damn, I'd give it a hit. I mean,
he'd hit it, but
yeah, I would at least fucking let him watch me shower.
He's got everything going. He's a good analyst.
Touching,
yeah, he's a super smart guy too. I like that guy. Anyways, who cares about fucking Emory Jones? Georgia's gonna fucking murder these dudes.
It's crazy to me. And S&P Plus from Bill Connolly has it at half of that. He thinks Georgia's only a 7-point.
I agree. It's a weird game, man. Every fucking year, world's biggest cocktail party. Everyone goes to Jacksonville. Everyone gets fucked up. Half the people that have tickets don't even make it. They sell their tickets.
That part is true for sure. I've experienced that in South Florida as well for a UCF game. Like half the tickets that were available got sold day of because everybody was shit faced. Actually, somebody that might be in the chat today, Reed White, did that shit at a fucking UCF game. Or no, that wasn't UCF. That was the Florida-Miami opener 2 years ago, I think, at Camping World Stadium. Anyways.
Look at it this way. A lot of people are probably looking at this and being like, I don't know, man. Florida did play Alabama pretty tight, only lost by 2, whatever. Alabama was up 21-0 and put it on cruise control way earlier than they should have, and Florida clawed their way back into it. Florida was only able to drop 13 on Kentucky, whose defense is probably the second best that they've played. Bama's probably better. So they scored 29 on Bama's defense, fine. But, like, dude, if you're
Maybe not this year. I think Kentucky might have a better defense.
Yeah, if you're only putting 13 on Kentucky's defense, I don't give a fuck. You might not score against Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia put up 30 on Kentucky just last week. Georgia's been we don't think of them as a very powerful offensive team. And I mean, honestly, on paper, they're not. But they're scoring 30 points every fucking game against tough SEC opponents. I mean, Arkansas and Auburn and Kentucky, they're not great. but they're fucking SEC teams with pretty decent defenses. All of them are.
All three of them have like legit defense.
Yeah, so it's like I really think unless something weird happens, but you're right, it is a big party, so some shit could go down.
Both are coming off a bye.
Yeah. I mean, anything could go down. You got to think though, if this is Georgia's year, it seems to be like that Cinderella year for them. Everything lined up. Alabama wasn't that good, and Clemson wasn't that good, and Georgia's defense or their offense kind of caught up to how great the defense has been recently, and the defense is even better than it's been recently. If it's their year, usually it just works out that these games maybe are tough for them, but they still win them. I don't know. I mean, I could see where you're going if it's like a fucking 3-point game or a 7-point game maybe.
Could be a 10-point game.
Yeah.
I'll still take Florida.
Yeah. Next up, by the way, people are asking in the chat if Lasper Lopez is going to a game. I would imagine the Texas-Baylor game is probably the one. I mean, what do you think, Lopez?
Send him back to Baylor.
Go get some more fucking some more mermans pregnant up there, buddy.
Right? He was really mad, and we were talking about this on Outside Top 25. He's mad at Dan right now.
Oh, for what?
For telling him to go to Baylor.
Why does it suck?
Because it's dry.
Oh, shit, it is dry.
They don't serve booze. But I pointed out on the show, and I stick by this, you have to know, like, half of the college football stadiums are dry.
They were. Like, Texas was dry until 2019.
Yeah.
Until they got the, whatever, core sponsorship.
Yeah.
The zoo was dry until 2019, too. And, like, there's nothing dry about either of those schools. You have to know when you're going to a college game, you got to have, like, a flask ready or some shit, always, just in case.
Yeah. Or just vodka-soaked tampon.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Scott thought he could just go to the game and get drunk there?
Well, he went to a tailgate before, so he was already pretty buzzed.
Right. Like, so what was he complaining about? Did he not get drunk enough to
He just couldn't buy and wear beer.
Do you really want to
Couldn't
sit in
continue
the...
the
Yeah,
buzz.
you don't want to sit at a fucking college football game
Sobering
without the ability to drink. Yeah, sobering up in the hot-ass sun around a bunch of fucking Mormons.
It's awful.
That sounds like a goddamn fever-pitched nightmare is what it sounds like to me. Fuck that shit.
I'm just looking at some really shitty games right now that are within driving distance.
Well, this next game is pretty shitty, and it's within driving distance.
It is.
Texas Tech at Oklahoma. It's the fucking 2:30 game here, but 3:30 game nationally, probably the big one. It's not the big one, though, because Texas Tech is terrible. But this over at 66.5, that might
low.
be. That feels low to me. I mean, usually you don't see Oklahoma this far into the season, usually getting like sub 68 or so.
Not against a Tech? Not
Against
against
other Big 12 teams.
Also,
yeah.
Tech's coach Matt Wells just got fired.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
he was only 3 years in, too.
We should send Lopez there to audition as the new Texas Tech head coach.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, actually, that's the move. You're going to Norman, and you're going to try to get that job.
He looks
in
pretty.
Lubbock.
He looks pretty Lubbock.
Lubbocky?
Yeah.
Isn't that like all oil people in Lubbock?
Yeah, Lubbock ass.
Like
Slaughterhouses.
Rig workers and slaughterhouses?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Lopez? How about Norman, Oklahoma? I think it's like a 5.5-hour drive.
I think he's
from
been.
here.
When you get there, tell people you're from Lubbock, that you work in the slaughterhouse in the veal division.
Slaughterhouse Lopez is his new name. And he's just like wearing a fucking one of those butcher aprons covered in blood. That's actually not bad. I like that look.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, to the game. 19.5. That's probably easy for Oklahoma. Texas Tech is terrible.
Dude, OU's kind of wonky. I like the over because I don't know that I trust OU to cover anything, but I do know that Texas Tech can score enough, and they have an awful defense.
Yeah. Also, Oklahoma's got to kind of get those numbers up after last week's squeaky win against Kansas. So I'll take the over as well.
Let's
I think they're
see.
going to dump in points probably.
Results and trends. I'm looking at...
For what it's worth, against Texas Tech, Texas covered this over by themselves. They dropped 70 on Tech. TCU dropped 52 on Tech. West Virginia and Tech only scored 43, but that's West Virginia's got a good defense. And then K-State, Texas Tech was low scoring, but again, K-State. It seems to me that whomever Tech plays, it sort of dictates how they play. Like, they play the way the other team plays. They play Houston, it's 38-21. They play K-State, it's 25-24. So, but, you know, I think this is a good over, especially with Caleb Williams instead of Rattler in there.
Let's see. I'm trying to find their record against the spread right now. I don't think it's great.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
No, it's not, because they were getting Oklahoma spreads, but they're not fucking winning anything.
Oklahoma. Hold on, I got it. Okay.
Where the wind comes
got you.
rushing down the range.
So Oklahoma right now. Yeah.
3-5 against the spread so far. So yeah, you're probably a safe bet to take. I mean, if you wanted to tease it, you could tease it down to 60.5 and tease Oklahoma up to 25.5, and take Texas Tech with the points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad bet. I'll probably do that.
I mean, honestly, if you want to tease the under or over down, if you're going to throw
That's
anything,
what I'm saying, yeah.
60.5.
Like tease them both.
Yeah.
Tease them both over 60.5. If they don't get to 60.5, this would just be a weird game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Next up, Colorado at Oregon. Nobody gives a fuck about either one of these teams. I'm sure.
I just find it funny that Ohio State's above Oregon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, it is kind of funny, but Oregon is not going to cover 24 points. You can't ever count on these assholes to do anything they're supposed to do.
Colorado stinks.
Colorado's terrible, yeah, but Oregon routinely sucks against the spread.
There's also just like a little bit of a red flag situation of the line is so big, but the over-under is not.
Oregon's 2-5 against the spread. Fuck those guys.
Oregon's going to win this game 30-0.
They might, but I'm not going to bet on it. Next up, Duke at Wake Forest. Jesus Christ, if this was a basketball game, I'd be excited. Unfortunately, it's not.
7-0 Wake Forest is getting me hyped.
It's going to be a Wake Forest
for Heisman.
Pittsburgh.
Let's get it.
Wake Forest Pittsburgh ACC championship game, and no one will watch because who cares about either one of those teams? Yeah, I'm not giving Wake Forest 16 points either. Although Duke is one of the worst college football programs in America, in a Power 5 conference at least. I mean, they're like Vanderbilt level bad most years. They just happen to play in a much weaker conference.
Right.
So you don't see it in the record, but they're pretty bad. What's Wake Forest against the spread? What kind of spreads have they even been getting?
It's been a lot of double digits.
They're
I think
3-4 against the spread.
Yeah,
that's not great. They probably won't cover 16. I'm sure they'll win this game. Over under 70. Shit.
They keep hitting overs.
Yeah, I mean they've been hitting overs pretty much every game.
The troops put up 56 against them, but they lost.
How many points? Go find somewhere to bet the over-under on Duke points. You can probably get the over on Duke points and win that one too.
How does Army score 56 points and lose?
How did they score 56 points in the first place?
Yeah. How is there enough time?
Triple option,
here's what happens.
How is there enough time for Army to score 56 points and then also Wake Forest score 70?
You have to be so bad against, like, not the run, the option in particular. Like, so confused by it.
Just no discipline.
I don't care about this. Are you guys going to bet this game?
I'll say this. I don't hate the spread because here's the last two good teams Duke has played against: Virginia and UNC. The last two competent teams. Virginia won 48-0. UNC won 38-0. Both of those were road games for Duke. Now Wake Forest is playing them, and the line is only 16.
I'll take Wake.
Yeah, give me Wake. Wake by 3 touchdowns.
I'll take the over. I'll bet it because you guys are, but I'm not fucking getting involved in all that horse shit.
Just set it and forget it.
Yeah. Over 70. All right, next up, Ole Miss at Auburn. This is a nice little battle.
Yeah.
Interesting that it's -2.5 Auburn in Auburn. So it's basically a pick 'em. They're trying to bait you with that half point to get you in there, but I think that's probably good. I would take Ole Miss at +2.5 right here. That's my bet.
Okay, I'm gonna ride Auburn.
They've been doing pretty
good,
well. Yeah, they've been doing pretty well. Let's see what they are against the spread. Auburn is 4-3, and Ole Miss.
This is it's a big game for both teams.
It's 4-2. They're both pretty good against the spread.
Auburn's lost to to Georgia, who obviously is the best team in the country, and Penn State with Sean Clifford. At Penn State, that was a really good game.
By the way, is Clifford out still? Is he out for the year or what?
He's still out, I believe. I don't know if he's out for the year.
Anyways, I'm going +2.5 Ole Miss on this, but look, Auburn they're a sneaky good football team. Ole Miss is better, but Auburn is just one of those teams, and they play well at home.
Yeah. I think Auburn wins this game, and I think the reason is because Ole Miss lost to Bama, correct? Yeah. So Ole Miss does not control their own destiny in the West. Auburn does, because if they're both tied for second place in the SEC West right now, except Auburn hasn't played Alabama yet, And I believe Auburn gets Bama at home this year. So Auburn can show up to Atlanta.
Do you think that the players on Auburn's football team think they're going to beat Alabama?
Yes, I think they fully believe it. I think they're capable of it, too.
Maybe. I mean, this is kind of a down year for Alabama, but I don't know. Psychology runs pretty deep.
This is one of those years that Gus Malzahn would have won the Iron Bowl.
Maybe. Fucking Bo Jackson. Let's see. So are you taking this?
I like
Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn. I like Auburn to win and cover.
Next up, it's Kentucky at Mississippi State. This is a pretty close one, too. I mean, it's Kentucky's given up 1.5 is what I'm seeing here at Mississippi State. What do you think about that?
It's dark Vegas. I hate this game. I'm not going to watch a second of this game.
It's also a spooky game.
It is a spooky game. I'm going to ride with Mississippi State, though.
Yeah, I agree. I
think he's
going
to take the money line?
Yeah, just because that fucking line's stupid.
I think this is a game where Kentucky kind of like fucks up Kentucky's season a little bit, ruins the dream season a little bit. Obviously, they lost, but that was to Georgia. Nobody really expected them to beat Georgia. This is the first like actual speed bump Kentucky hits in the year.
Mississippi State actually has a little bit of a defense, so they'll kind of match what Kentucky does well. And I think Mississippi State probably has a better offense. So yeah,
look, man, Kentucky is SEC East, which is a much. They've lost to Georgia, so they're not going to fucking win, obviously, right? Because Georgia's not going to lose.
Yeah.
And Alabama, they're not.
Well, Georgia's not going to lose twice for sure. I mean, maybe someone can jump up and bite.
They would have to get beat really hard for Kentucky to jump them.
Yeah.
In the rankings or for I don't know what the tiebreaker is. It would probably go to head first,
yes.
right?
So they have to. That's what I'm saying. Georgia has to lose 2 games for Kentucky.
Kentucky's not getting into anything. Yeah, they might. They might fucking choke on this one. I could see that happening. I'm not going to bet it. It looks too nasty.
Yeah, it's a gross game.
I could definitely see Mississippi State ripping this one off.
Also, by the way, Ruben says Clifford played last week against Illinois in that 9 overtime game.
Oh, boy.
And they lost to Illinois, so.
Illinois is not good.
They are very, very bad.
Yeah. It turns out Penn State, either he's super hurt or they were super overrated.
I think he's
or a combination.
Super hurt.
Yeah. Kansas at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State minus 30.5. I'm never going to bet a fucking spread that high. That's crazy. I mean, you might take the over, to be honest, because
over's interesting.
You can tease Kansas to 36.5, and you're telling me Oklahoma State's going to win by more than 5 touchdowns?
I don't know. I don't know if Kansas scores in this game.
It's really you just never know what Kansas is going to do.
And Oklahoma State is not Oklahoma. This is they typically have a slightly better defense than Oklahoma does.
Mm-hmm. They do. They have a good defense.
So, I mean,
coming off the first loss against Iowa State,
Kansas. I guess they scored 23 against Oklahoma last week. So maybe they score fucking in the 20s. I don't know. But other than that, that's the only time other than Duke they've scored like that this season.
The other thing too is you're like, oh, dude, will they lose by 5 touchdowns? I don't know. They've done it twice this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, for sure. But does Oklahoma State have a reason to bang up on a fucking shitty team like that? Is it going to win them anything extra? I don't know. You know what I mean? They're more. If it was Oklahoma, I would probably say yeah.
No, I think it does because they got to fight for that second Big 12 slot for essentially a New Year's Six game. If we think that Oklahoma can ride it out and make the playoff,
well, they also get to play Oklahoma,
right? Yeah, so they can still win the Big 12. I mean, I think they're out. They're out for blood. This is gonna be a murder. Also, Kansas doesn't usually string together 2 competent games.
That's probably a fair assessment, yeah. All right, I'm down with that. I'll take it at 30. I'm going to tease it to 36.5 and take Kansas.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if
ride the momentum.
Yeah, Iowa State.
Jayhawk. I know the hate is flowing through your blood right now.
It doesn't even matter. I was rooting for Kansas last week.
Yeah,
I thought it would have been fucking funny to see Oklahoma lose. I mean, it's just they lost by 52 to Iowa State. If anything, I like the over. But
the over does seem attractive.
Yeah.
It also makes me very suspicious of this game. So I'm probably actually not going to bet that because at 36.5, man, you're talking about a Kansas scoring in the teens and Oklahoma up in the fucking in the 40 area, mid 40s area.
Right.
That's a lot of fucking points, man. Anyways, nobody cares about that shit.
No. That game sucks.
This is the game of the week right here, buddy. SMU at Houston, and it's even. You don't really see that much in college football. You don't see even very much, even amongst like top tier ranked teams. You don't see even much because somebody gets some credit for something.
Right.
They don't know what to make of Houston.
Houston scores. I mean, the over is 62. I'm taking the over in this game. I won so many Houston overs in the last 2 years because they can't play defense, but they could score a lot, and it makes the other team have to score a lot. So
I think they're playing defense now.
They might be playing defense, but SMU is not playing offense.
Right.
I think over 62 is pretty safe in this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing a little bit of defense. Obviously, Tech torched them in the first game. Since then, they've really their schedule's about as bad as you could possibly see a schedule.
Rice, Grambling State, Navy.
East Carolina took them to OT.
Yeah.
I love SMU here. Houston hasn't played a good team.
They ain't played nobody, pal.
They haven't played a good team all year. They did beat the shit. Them boat racing Tulsa is impressive because that Tulsa doesn't usually let that happen to them unless it's like a very, very good team.
SMU's only really played TCU all year.
Yeah, I mean, look, these are two G5 teams, so they're not going to have like a stacked schedule. But SMU's done more of what you would expect them to do, I guess. I don't know. I like SMU to win.
I'm all set on this. I'm going to bet the over.
By the way, Houston opened as a 1-point favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
So people are betting SMU then. Interesting.
Got to think SMU's going to get the calls.
But a lot of that is, I don't know about that, but
the Americans going to try to keep a team alive. There's to feed to Cincinnati.
There's a lot of that's actually that might be true.
A ranked team.
There's a lot of new amateur gamblers that move spreads quite a bit, and seeing the number 19 next to SMU probably means something to them that it doesn't mean to other people that have been gambling for a long time. Like you're saying, with the political aspect of all this shit. Or it's not even political necessarily. It's just like, we need Notre Dame to be good for the rest of the year so Cincinnati gets into the CFP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We need SMU, because they're going to play them twice to be ranked.
Yeah. So that's 3 ranked wins, yeah. Next up, Penn State at Ohio State. Ohio State is giving up 18.5 at home. That seems like a lot to me.
A lot of points.
I mean, C.J. Stroud has been pretty inconsistent. He's had some good games recently. Didn't start out great. And I know that Clifford's banged up still. Apparently, according to the chat, he was kind of shitty last week. But fuck, man. This is a rivalry game. It may not be rivalry week, but this is a rivalry game. Usually Penn State does its whiteout game when Ohio State is at home or playing them in State College. So they take this game seriously. I don't know. 18.5 is a lot for me. You know me. I don't give a fuck about Penn State, so I'm not
swayed by your alma mater.
It's not a homer pick, but fucking 18.5 seems like a lot.
We are.
Yeah, so stupid. I hate all of the fucking college, like OHIO, so you can spell a 4-letter word. Congratulations, fuckface.
That's big for people in Ohio.
That's a big education. It's like the second largest campus on Earth.
Yeah.
Or not on Earth, but in the country of all the public schools. And their motto is OHI. It's spelling the name.
Yeah.
It's like the Jets.
Well, actually,
Jets, Jets. Congratulations.
Well, it's also the biggest congregation of juggalos in Ohio.
don't they not even spell the whole word? Isn't one half of the stadium one half of the word and the other half of the stadium the other half?
Yeah, it's called division of labor, asshole.
Well,
I can't remember everything.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Or transactive memory, which is where I store because of our relative physical and spiritual / social connection, whatever it happens to be. Mm-hmm. I can store memories in your head. That's a real thing. Look it up.
I don't like a state that has only one consonant and 3 vowels.
It is suspect, yeah. I mean, it's like anti-Norwegian almost. Mm-hmm. I don't trust those people. No. Anyways, that's a lot of points. I think I'll probably tease this up Ohio State, or I'll take it Penn State 24.5. I think that's probably safe. They're not going to win that.
Here's what I'm afraid of. Ohio State is committing murders. Like, they know that they have one loss, and they want to make sure their resume is as flawless as possible.
They're certainly motivated.
So they're throat-ripping every team they play.
And Penn State has not played a single good offense all season. No, nothing even approaching a good offense.
Yeah.
Right? They've played the good defensive teams from the Big Ten so far, like the good defensive teams that can't do anything else is what I mean.
Right. And
then a bunch of shitbags. So who knows how good their defense really is. And Stroud has looked better for sure, but not 24.5. I'm good at Penn State 24.5. Delco, what are you doing here?
I'll take Penn State in the 18.5.
Just because straight up.
They always play Ohio
This is a
State
tough game, man. I mean, there's even when I thought Ohio State before Bosa got hurt, what was it, 2019? I thought they were going to fucking destroy everybody. And even after that, they were fucking good. And we were at that whiteout game in Penn State. Penn State controlled that game up until like the last 3.5 minutes. And, it matters that they couldn't control it for the end.
Right.
But still, this game is tough. Next up is North Carolina at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's getting 3.5, which is a lot of disrespect for the 11th ranked team in the country to get a half point in one of the harder places to play. I mean, it's loud as shit there, right? Weather's nice, though, so that helps. North Carolina is a program on the rise. Notre Dame is a program that has risen to its glass ceiling, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to get any better, but it's probably not going to get worse either because it's such a huge name. So this is a compelling game. It's compelling for the ACC in a lot of ways because they want Notre Dame to play football in the ACC. Notre Dame is like, I got a TV contract.
Yeah, we have our own channel. It's fine.
But this is a good game. What do you think about this one? I'm not sure how to bet this, to be honest, because UNC's been up and down all fucking year. That's kind of like the for Notre Dame, they've been up and down for fucking 25 years.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. I kind of love Notre Dame here because they have a good defense, even though it's maybe not as good as it usually is, and fucking North Carolina can't protect their quarterback.
Yep. Sam Howell gets hit every single game. Notre Dame covers 3.5.
Yeah.
If you want to play it safe, just by the half point, take the -3.
I think Notre Dame's like 4-3 against the spread, which is typical of those assholes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're probably good on this one. Mac Brown gets a lot of. There's a lot of people standing in line to suck his dick, and considering he's a 4-3 coach.
Yeah.
And last year was even. I think they did better than we thought they should last year, but not as good as we think he should do. So maybe next year's the year. I mean, if it was Dabo, next year would be the year where they have a good team, right?
Right. How annoying is it that people rank North Carolina so high to start the year because basically Texas?
Yeah.
Like people want to rank Texas so high so often that they ranked North Carolina super high because a guy who coached for Texas coaches there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Fucking
true.
ridiculous.
It's weird. I don't know why that works that way. I'm going to take Notre Dame 3.5. I think they're fine with that. I'm not even going to buy half a point. All right, next up, Virginia at BYU, and just the constant disrespect to BYU. I know they've lost 2 games this year, but they're probably better than Virginia, right?
No.
We both like Virginia to win.
Yeah.
Really?
Virginia money line.
Maybe.
Vernon Armstrong is legit. I think he's starting to get some draft buzz right now.
Really?
Especially with Dilfer. Dilfer's sucking his dick right
Armstrong's kind of a dark horse for
a good
Heisman
name
as well, right? Yeah.
now. It's a good quarterback name.
Dude, and Virginia is fucking slinging it, too.
But they can only throw the ball, right? I mean, he's thrown let's see, 372
40 times a
fucking
game.
passes already in 8 games. Good Lord, that's a lot.
Yeah, he throws a lot.
That's over 40 a game.
He had 60 passing attempts against Louisville. Let's see how many he had against Duke. Probably less just because they need to throw the ball the whole game. I mean, like 45 against
45.
Duke. Yeah, I mean, like this, they throw constantly.
And how's BYU's? I mean, I know they're not.
They're starting to crash back to earth.
They've won some early games against overranked
Arizona State
Utah, yeah, Arizona.
kind of got put in their place by Baylor.
Look,
Squeaked one out against Washington State without Rolo.
They got whooped by fucking Boise State too, though. That game.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
Yeah, you're probably right about Virginia. I'm not gonna bet this one though. I don't know much about Virginia. Although that quarterback does look pretty good.
Also, it's a kind of like a revenge spot for Bronco Mendenhall. Like it's not revenge spot, but like beat up on your old school.
Yeah, Virginia money line, baby.
Mike Tomlin's press conference. Hold on, we'll look at that. We're gonna do NFL after the ads. So Virginia money line is what they're saying here. Next up, Fresno State at San Diego State. This is the one we've all been waiting for.
I have is a great game.
San Diego State is -1 at home, which means that's disrespect right there. They're probably going to win this game, right?
No.
You think Fresno State's
Fresno's winning this game.
So you're going to take Fresno State money line, or you're going to take the point?
I'm going to take money line, obviously, just because I think Jake Hayner is going to sling the ball. San Diego State has a really good run defense, but I mean, they haven't played anybody that can sling it the way Jake does. Yeah, I think Fresno's going to dump in points here. San Diego State's offense is not great either. They just pretty much run the rock. I think Fresno's a much better team.
Okay, fine with that.
Yeah, that's this type of thing where I just take Dan's word for it because I don't give a shit about either of these teams in the slightest. SP Plus like San Diego State, but yeah, I'm not betting this fucking thing.
Cool. All right, let's go ads.
Yeah,
and then we'll do the rest.
A little NFL.
Got some NFL next, and whether you're going to bet college or the NFL or the NBA, DraftKings Sportsbook is the place to do it. The NBA is back, and at DraftKings Sportsbook, an authorized sports betting partner of the NBA, the key to victory is a strong starting five. New customers can bet just $5 on any NBA team to win their game. That's it. Like, don't have to worry about a spread, anything, so you can have the best team in the league playing the shittiest team in the league. Bet $5, you win $200 in free bets. So why not fucking do that? It's just free money, really. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get skin in the game with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you win. That's how a parlay works. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw cash whenever you want. There's no we'll get it to you next month, whatever. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code BROS, B-R-O-S. Bet just $5 on any NBA team to win their game and win $200 in free bets. If they win, you win with the promo code BROS this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. An authorized sports betting partner of the NBA, must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only, minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager, one per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Next up, GhostBed. They're our fave.
They are, yeah. I like sleeping in them, like fucking in them, passing out, eating food sometimes, although I try not to do that because of crumbs, right? But
well, I was going to say, did you take any of your pulled pork into the bed and just kind of eat it off your tummy?
Should, like an otter, yeah. I should start eating like an otter. I just don't have a big enough gut, so I need a wealth belly first, and then I'm going to start eating like an otter.
Got to get those numbers up.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I love GhostBed. Sleep on them all the time. I slept in some shitty fucking hotel bed last night. It's a fucking nightmare. My back hurts and I'm pissed off all day. God damn it.
I still haven't recovered from Nashville.
From the shitty beds there?
From the shitty beds in Nashville.
Yeah, what was the name of that hotel we stayed at?
I have no idea, but
was it like Hyatt Place? I don't remember what it was.
I injured myself. I feel like a 90-year-old man.
Those beds were terrible. And it's not even the beds in hotels. Every now and again you'll get a good one, but you'll never get a good pillow in a hotel.
No.
I don't know what they do to those pillows. It's like it starts out as a normal pillow or something, and somebody's like, fuck these peasants, and they fuck the pillow up.
Well, someone definitely fucks the pillow, too, as a hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you about sleeping at a hospital. And you're not even the patient. That's what I feel like is a hotel pillow.
Yeah, no
like
shit,
when I was
right?
there with my wife gave birth, just like the shittiest pillows imaginable. You know who doesn't have shitty pillows? GhostBed.
No, they got the best pillows.
They got cooling pillows that you can stuff at your own leisure, I believe, correct? You can take out, put in, whatever you want.
Yeah, you can remove stuffing out of it, and if you want more, you can contact their customer service, and they'll send you free shit to stuff into that bitch, right? So
yeah, this is the best mattress company in the world, best mattress in the world. Right now they're doing two different deals. One is a flash sale bundle. You start out with a mattress and an adjustable base, and you can add on from there whatever you want. Pillows, sheets, mattress topper. And that whole order will be 40% off. You go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Or if you don't need the mattress and adjustable base together, like maybe you just want a mattress and some sheets, or maybe you just want sheets and pillows, whatever. You can go to, again, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Use the promo code Drinkin Bros, and you'll get 30% off everything in your order for that. You can get a mattress for like $35 a month, financing-wise. It's 0 down, 0% financing. You can try it for 101 nights and send it back if you don't like it. It's made in America. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Best mattress in the world. Last but not least, we got Killcliff CBD. Killcliff is also offering Drinkin Bros some tasty discounts.
Oh, boy.
Along with some tasty drinks.
I do enjoy a tasty beverage.
Yeah. I stole some Killcliff from the office to drive to Houston yesterday. I was like, fuck stopping for coffee. I got my Killcliff right
Let's
here.
go grab one.
Talk to HR about that.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're allowed to drink the Killcliff in the studio, but if you leave with it, it's kind of a problem.
That's fine.
I don't think that's true.
It's not.
Anything, you can put anything you want in your body here, but it has to stay here.
We're getting into some dangerous territory right now, legally speaking. But I'm into it. Let's do this.
All right,
let's
cool.
start shoving shit in our ass or whatever you said.
Yeah. But anyway, Killcliff. So they have two awesome drinks. They have their CBD drink and their Ignite energy drink. I love both of them. The CBD drink actually, they both have it now. The Flaming Joe, which is Joe Rogan's flavor. It's like a spicy pineapple. You got my favorite Strawberry Days. You got Mango Tango, Orange Kush, a bunch of good ones. And right now, if you use the promo code Drinkin Bros at killcliff.com, what you get is 20% off all drinks and apparel. If you watch the show often, you've probably seen Dan wearing a Killcliff shirt once or twice. They've got really cool shirts and stuff, as well as great drinks. And then the Ignite energy drink, that's my favorite when I'm hungover. That's what I love to drink. No sugar, 20 calories a can, B vitamins, electrolytes, naturally flavored. They're just awesome. Killcliff is offering Drinkin Bros again, 20% off. Go to killcliff.com. Use the promo code Drinkin Bros. That's KILLCLIFF.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros to get 20% off. We got some NFL picks to make here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some of these stats. Player stats. Fucking Tom Brady is on pace for 5,200 yards, which is, that's a lot.
He will not stop.
Which, I mean, that's in 17 games, by the way. So it's more like 49, 50 or so, give or take.
Yeah, I would say the single season record's 54-77.
Yeah. But even then, I mean, like he's 10% or so off the pace of the best season anybody's ever had. Mm-hmm. 48 on pace for 48 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I don't know about the 7, but he's at 21-3 right now. That's a 7-to-1 ratio, and that's not even the best ratio he's had, by the way. He had one season where he had 28 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Fucking asshole.
Goddamn.
Anyways, the first game up tonight is actually
it's a great game.
The better.
Might be the best game of the week.
It's probably the best quarterback of all time.
Kyler Murray.
Not results, but the most talented quarterback of all time, Aaron Rodgers. But he's got nobody to throw to now because Devontae Adams is out with COVID. So what are you thinking about this game? I mean, I don't even know who their second receiver is other than fucking Randall Cobb. I mean, who's got the second most receptions on their team right now?
I mean, yeah.
Let's look. Receptions. Second most is their running back, Aaron Jones. And after that, it's their tight end, who's got almost 40 less than Adams does.
It's not
and
ideal.
Adams has got double the receptions that anybody else on the team does. This is going to be one of those games. I mean, how the Cardinals' run defense, what's that look like?
Let me look up the rushing defense rankings here. I kind of say, like, the Packers have had a pretty weak schedule so far. They beat the Bengals, which is impressive, even if it's in overtime. But, like, I don't know, man. I think the Cardinals roll here. And I definitely like the over. 50.5. I think both these teams put up a shit ton of points.
I'll take the over.
Cardinals are kind of middle of the road when it comes to run defense. It looks like
second overall in DVOA next to Buffalo.
Their fucking pass defense is extremely good, though. Which, I mean, that's a lot of pressure on Rodgers to not have your number one fucking target up against the third best pass defense in the NFL. I mean, that's rough.
When the fuck are the Cardinals going to lose, though, right?
They've got to lose at some point, and you would think it would probably be to the Packers, but we're giving a lot of weight to history and not a lot to what's happening in front of our faces right now.
Right.
Which is that Aaron Rodgers has stumbled into a couple of wins this year. I don't think he's been all that great.
But 7 points?
He told fucking Chicago fans that he owned them after throwing for 190 yards in a game.
Yep.
Like, just relax, dude.
Does, in fact,
Calm
own
down.
them.
But, I mean, not to say he isn't great and not to say he couldn't turn it on, and maybe not focusing in on Adams for every fucking reception helps them in some way. Sometimes these injuries do
Update.
help.
Line has moved to 6.
Yeah.
As we started the podcast, it was a 7, so we are now Packers plus 6. I'll still take the 6 points.
I love the Cardinals to roll here. I think this is like a statement game. I think the Cardinals are just – I don't know when they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose.
They definitely want this game badly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Actually, they might lose next week to the 49ers, but they win this game.
The 49ers are a huge disappointment to me. But anyways, and it's Bosa v. Bosa, or could have been Bosa v. Bosa, but instead they took Kyler Murray. You know what I mean? Like they could have – oh, I'm sorry. He's in L.A. anyways. I don't know about this one. I don't know if I can bet this. But I definitely want to watch. This is the first.
I will watch this game.
This is the first Thursday night game in a very long time that I really wanted to watch.
Years.
Because I just really want to see what the fuck happens here. This seems like a super interesting game. I'll throw some money on it just because we're going to watch it. I hate Aaron Rodgers, so I'm going to bet for him. Because maybe I just hope he loses, so I'm going to put money on him to win.
Do you think he has any leftover crystals from Danica Patrick?
Oh, yeah.
First off, let's calm down because don't think that Shailene Woodley didn't bring a trunk full of crystals into
Who's
the
got
house.
more crystals, Danica Patrick or Shailene Woodley?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Like Shailene Woodley using them instead of soap.
Right. If anything, Aaron Rodgers has a crystal fetish. He keeps hooking up with chicks who use crystals.
Does Olivia Munn?
No, that's why they're not together anymore.
Yeah, well, she used crystals in a different way.
Yeah, I could see that with Chris Pine.
Yeah, butt plugs.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Pretty cool.
I know. I'm thinking about it right now. Aren't you?
Just that big old
I am
Trekkie
now.
hog.
Trekkie Hog. This will be a fun game to watch. Tune in tonight. Let us know in Drinkin' Bro Sports what bets you've made because I'm just kind of curious where everybody's leaning on this one. Next up, Sunday games. We got Panthers at Falcons. This is brutal, man. Jesus Christ. That's a rough way to start out your day, isn't it?
There's nothing worse than an NFL game no one cares about.
Yeah. I guess I would care if Deshaun Watson had been traded to the Panthers already.
Yeah.
Which seems like it might happen, but I don't know. I mean, usually if you hear about something in public, if they float a test balloon, it's like, hey, there's serious conversation about this happening, and it's been a week and it hasn't happened, that means they didn't like the response they got from putting that information out in public, and they're like,
Just seeing how the public
fuck
would
this.
react.
Yeah.
Like, they're not really going to support him.
Yeah, so he may just be out for the whole fucking season. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going anywhere fucking near this game.
No, it's
These are
stupid.
two shitty-ass teams.
Stupid.
I'm going to take the Panthers. I think they got to get it done at some point.
You would think
They've
so.
lost, 4 straight?
They've lost 3 or 4, yeah.
It is weird. I mean, it's literally just the Falcons are at home, so toss them 3 points, I guess. But I think the Panthers are better, even though they're 3 and 4. Falcons are 3 and 3. I mean, I would feel more comfortable betting on the Panthers, but I'm not going to bet on this game.
Dolphins at Bills up next. If this game were in Miami, to be honest, I would give it a second look. But because even the Patriots, historically, when the Dolphins were at their worst, had problems playing in Miami. I don't know why. But you got to think the Bills are going to roll this game pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's minus 14. That's a lot of points in the NFL, but the Dolphins are terrible.
And who's playing for the Dolphins right now? Jacoby Brissett.
I think so. Is Tua back in? He's healthy. He's listed as healthy.
Brissett might be better, though.
Well, of course he's better. Shit. Tua is terrible. I don't understand this. Wasn't he part of one of those Deshaun Watson conversations about part of a 3-team trade? Where
Tua going to Washington.
Tua just gets launched into the sun or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I'm not going to bet this game because I don't want to watch it, to be honest.
It's probably better to be launched into the sun and then instead of playing for Dan Snyder.
Yeah, no shit, yeah. He's definitely going to he's going to rat you out at some point, right?
Oh.
That guy's a real piece of shit. So Tua's back. Craig's saying he's a Dolphins fan, so he'll know that.
Does that even crack a top 10 list for
No.
Dan Snyder's?
No, it's not even on
negative traits.
Yeah, if this were his FBI most wanted list card, it wouldn't show up on it. No, he's got way more shit than that. I'm not giving up 14 points, so I'll go Dolphins plus 14.
It's very high for the NFL, but I will take the Bills.
I'm going to take Dolphins plus 14.
I think the Bills roll. The Bills have been kind of kicking the shit out of people.
Yeah, they have, but the Texans, that game doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Washington's not a bad team, although they're in free fall right now. I don't know what's going on in Washington. We'll get to that here in a minute. Anyways, next up, 49ers Bears. It's a good defensive matchup. And it'll be interesting to see what progress Garoppolo has made. I don't think he's completely healthy still. He seems like he's a little fucked up. And Fields is still playing in Chicago, right? He hasn't been murdered yet.
No.
This might be the week
that
he loses his life. The over in this game is 39.5. I'm going to take that down to 33.5.
How do you think he dies? Does he get crushed by that giant bean?
Yeah, just falls off.
I think he'll probably start getting Lori Lightfoot's UBI, get real lazy, not working out as much because he got that government check coming, and then somebody snaps his legs
getting paid
off.
more than his rookie contract.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it. I'm going to do a little teaser here. I'm going to take Bears up to +10, and I'm going to take the over down to 33.5.
I'm not going to touch this game.
This game sucks.
It does suck, yeah. I mean, it's if you like watching, if you're a fan of the Bears, you probably would like this game because you're used to watching this style of football.
Yeah.
It's the only style you've seen, and ever.
Dude, the next 6 games make me want to barf, to be honest.
Most of the NFL makes me want to barf.
This week is rough, man. I'm not going to lie. Steelers at Browns. This game probably had high hopes before the season started. Chubb is probably still out, right? I mean, all these guys are out right now. Chubb and Hunt, are they either one of these guys playing?
Let's check his page real quick and see. I honestly just like the Steelers to win this game because it'd be very NFL for, the Browns are favored. Chubb is limited practice right now.
OBJ's out. Chubb is questionable. Baker's questionable. Fucking Jarvis Landry's still questionable.
And since High and Angry keeps bringing up the Tomlin press conference, sure, we'll bring it up. He denied that he would ever consider the USC job. He said something along the lines of, never say never, but never.
Honestly, Mike Tomlin, he's one of the longest tenured coaches in the NFL. He might be the longest tenured coach at this point, right?
I think he is.
That's like ultimate.
No, Belichick.
Ultimate job security is just being the Pittsburgh Steelers coach. They've had 3 coaches their entire franchise.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I mean, if they've got 1 year, I think, to get a quarterback in their system that's going to be the quarterback of the future to keep him, I think. Otherwise, Tomlin's probably going to leave. I would. I mean, why? Are you going to stick around for Mason fucking Rudolph?
That was my argument. So people were giving me shit. I said, I don't think it's likely, but there's at least a 5% chance that he would consider taking the USC job because the Pittsburgh Steelers' future is just very not great.
It's not great, but they're not because of the way they've structured that team over there. Look, their offensive line is in trouble right now.
Yeah.
So they've got some choices to make. I think they probably need to make a trade to get 2 first-round picks and take a quarterback and a top offensive lineman next year to bolster that team. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. They're definitely not going to be able to do it if they keep winning games, right? Because their first-round draft pick won't matter. Even if they're a fucking 8 and 9 team at the end of the year, you're going to get a 16th round draft pick or a 16 pick. You're not going to get either one of those things. You might get a quarterback at 16, but you're not getting a fucking top offensive lineman there.
Right, so. And he could just, for the next decade, just be the Steelers coach and just be the new Jeff Fisher, where he just goes 8-9 every year.
He's got a ring. He doesn't care.
Now, that guy seems very competitive to me, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll say this. He has a ring. He doesn't need to care.
That's true. He seems a little too loyal.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, why not?
Roethlisberger should have been gone a couple years ago, probably. I mean...
Yeah, Roethlisberger
can't throw more than 5 yards downfield.
No. Roethlisberger's body looks like it was pulled out of a pond.
Yeah, did you see he took that snap and it was like a 3-yard a 3-step drop and then a fucking roll out to the right. And he found his check down guy was just super wide open, so he went to him immediately, probably because he knows he can't throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
But either way, he went to his check down guy really quickly and almost tripped over his own feet as he was throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Dude, it's time to wrap it up.
He's dead. It's literal. It's like a mummy movie. They're just watching the mummy rise up and try to walk towards you.
How funny would it be if one day you just turn on the Steelers and it's Brendan Fraser on the sidelines instead of Roethlisberger? Anyways, I'm not betting this game.
They have essentially the same body at this point.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Half of Cleveland's team is out. The Steelers fucking stink. I'm not watching this stupid shit.
No.
Eagles
we just skip every game.
Seriously, Eagles at Lions. This is probably the worst game of the week.
Just pass your pistol around the table.
Yeah. Oh man, do we have enough rounds for everybody? The Eagles Lions. This is the worst game.
Take the under.
I think this might be the worst game I've seen in 2 years.
It's pretty fucking bad.
The Lions are not going to win a game this year.
No, I appreciate what the Lions are doing, especially against the fucking Rams. They had an onside kick after they scored. They faked 2 punts. Just fuck it, do it.
Look,
switch things up. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I mean they're the Lions are at that point in the season 0-7, and you didn't even see this on the Browns when they didn't win a game all year. players and coaches are publicly calling one another out every week now. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're a quarterback in the NFL, Jared Goff.
Right.
Like, he just says his name. Like, they're not even trying to hide how much they hate each other at this point.
I mean, you live in Detroit.
Yeah, you may want to watch it just to see if there's like a fucking Anthony Davis situation on the sideline where he's pushing people down into the bench or something like that. But other than that, this is unwatchable. Like, this is completely unwatchable nonsense.
I just look at this and, like, it's like a void of joy. Like there's no light in a black hole. Like there's no joy in this game.
Matt Campbell might cry again.
This should be a game that's like a really good game on Thanksgiving, and instead it's a fucking game in the middle of October that nobody gives a shit about. Next up, Titans at Colts. Again, I really enjoy Derrick Henry. I think he's an impressive human being, but I hate watching the Titans play football because you don't know. It's like, you know what you're going to get when you go see any Tarantino movie, right? You know it's going to be pretty good, first of all, and you know it's going to be chopped up into a couple of chapters. You know that. You know a lot of stuff.
A bunch of
wisecracking. Him using the N-word for some reason.
A lot of blood.
A lot of blood spraying around. You know what you're going to get every week. And with the Titans, I don't know what I'm going to get every week. So I'll watch the fucking highlights. That's it. I'm not watching any more of their games until they fucking get their shit together. This is ND minus 1.5. I don't know about that, but it does speak to how inconsistent the Titans have been.
Yeah, the Titans are like the epitome of an NFL team. Like corporate logo, like you said, don't know what they're gonna do every week.
Jeff Fisher was their coach forever.
They are the epitome of a team that is fake in a movie that doesn't have the rights to an NFL team.
Yeah, it's an every given Sunday background franchise.
Or the what was the replacements? What was the name of their team? The Generals or some shit?
Yeah, something terrible.
Yeah, with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, what was the name of that?
That might be better.
Well, it's gonna have to be better than the Guardians because apparently the Cleveland baseball team, which we may be calling it next year because the Cleveland Guardians are getting sued by a fucking like women's handball team that owns the rights to the or some shit. I don't know who it is. What was the team? Who told me that? Was it you?
No, I was one of these guys. I think it might have been Sean. It's a roller derby team.
Oh boy,
yeah,
which is sick.
And they own the rights to the to merchant. If they did it right, if they file their patents right, they're going to own the merchandising, everything for the Cleveland Guardians.
Good.
That's so Cleveland. That's the most Cleveland thing I've ever heard. They didn't do any of their homework.
No,
they just decided on some stupid shit. Like, look, we already decided. Like, no,
do they not still own the rights to the Cleveland Spiders?
That's what it needs to be.
Maybe, and then they all get fucking face tattoos of spiders or something.
Yeah.
Do something cool. Either way, what do you think about this game, Titans and Colts? You gonna bet this?
No. I do feel like the Titans should win.
Starting to turn a corner right now, it seems.
The Titans?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that point in the season where Derrick Henry just starts to get dominant, and I don't know if you've noticed, but he's been dominant every game already, except for one. So maybe it gets worse. I don't know. ND minus 1, that's a little... It
made no sense. They lost to the Jets 4 games ago, but then they obviously Jags, they beat the Bills, and then they beat the Chiefs. And,
right.
How are you going to lose to the fucking Jets?
Yeah, fuck this. Titans money line. Fuck that shit.
With the line the way it is, I'll stick with the Colts. Colts at home. -2.
You're going to take, what is it? Colts?
-2.
-2. You're going to take the Colts, huh?
I got 1.5, but either way.
That's a hot take, Dan. I don't know about that one. I'm not betting this. No. This game is ugly as shit.
I probably won't bet.
It's like a would you rather, and it's Hillary Clinton and somebody else that's ugly as shit. This next game is exciting just because I want to see some video game shit from this game. It's Bengals at Jets. Not going to be a good game. The Jets are going to fucking get blown out as usual.
But you want to see Jamar Chase? Yeah, 300 yards of receiving.
He's the first receiver I've seen of the last 5-year branch of receivers that operate the way they do in Alabama typically, sometimes in Clemson, sometimes LSU, often at Ohio State as well, where they're just for no reason wide the fuck open on plays and then run them in with great yak moves afterwards.
Yeah.
I've seen him do that 2 or 3 times this year. And usually when like a receiver comes in the NFL from college, it's like, dude, it ain't like that here. Yeah. We have strong safeties that are good. We have DBs that can chase your ass down, so on and so forth. But he's the first guy I've seen do it multiple times. Maybe it's the connection between him and fucking Burrow or whatever, but I want to see Burrow put up some video game numbers here.
I think he will. I would take a half point down, but
it's Cincinnati minus 10.5. I mean, that seems close to me, to be honest. The Jets have nothing to play for. They're playing for a fucking draft pick, you would think, right? At this point.
Bengals have a good defense.
Yeah.
They're putting up points. Yeah, I'll lay the points.
You're going to take the full 10.5 or you're going to buy one?
Yeah, well, 10.5 is fine.
Yeah, I'm the same. Next up, Rams at Texans. The Texans aren't even a fucking football team at this point.
No.
They're just like fucking 51 guys in the same outfit, which is kind of weird, to be honest. If you showed up like that anywhere else, people would probably call the police. But in this case, they just turn on the television. So it's Rams minus 14.5. Stafford's been carving up defenses all year. Henderson's looked pretty good. You got to think they're going to fucking and Cooper Kupp has been the best receiver in the NFL so far this year, right? So you got to think they're going to light the Texans up, right?
Also, I feel like the Titans have just gotten a fucking just brutal ass schedule.
The Texans
for being one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Texans?
For being I mean, honestly, if you take into account all the stupid shit surrounding the team, all the distraction, this is definitely the worst team in the NFL. And they've had to play Cleveland, who was good at the time, right before all their injuries.
The
Buffalo,
Bills.
New England,
Cardinals,
and now LA. Jesus Christ!
Every competent team they've played, like every team that I guess the Colts are kind of middling and the Patriots are middling, but the Colts beat the shit out of them. The Cardinals murdered them. The Bills embarrassed them.
They didn't even come close to scoring against the Bills.
Yeah. I mean, they basically they're coasting on, I don't know what, playing the Browns kind of tight.
I guess.
They played the Patriots tight.
Yeah, but the Patriots don't play offense.
No.
Yeah. Rams, again, give me a half point on 14.5.
Just take a full point. I mean, it's a lot more money, but I don't know. 14.5. It's like every week in the NFL now, there's 14-point spreads.
Which you never
every
see.
week. No,
right.
man.
It's just this year.
God damn it. I'm taking it, though. Fuck the goddamn Texans.
Yeah, fuck.
I'm going full 14.5. I don't give a shit. I think it's going to be like a 20-point game.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Let's see. Who's up next here? Patriots at Chargers. Now, this is an interesting game because I like Herbert. He's a good quarterback, and they have a pretty decent system around him. Both of these teams have good defenses, but man, if Belichick is still good at anything, it's looking at a matchup and figuring out how that team that he has on the field can best win against the other team. It's at LA, not that matters necessarily, except for you have to travel coast to coast if you're the Patriots. But
certainly no home field.
Also, you'll remember this was Herbert's worst game of his career, where they lost 45-0 last year.
He blew him up, and that I'm going fucking Patriots money line on this, to be honest. I think the Chargers are gonna get their fucking ass handed to them.
You know what I like for this is the under.
49.5 is a lot for this game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I expect this to be like a both teams scoring in the low 20s.
Yeah, like maybe somebody wins like 25-16, something 25-17, something like that.
I'll take the Patriots in the 4.
You're going to take the points?
Take the points.
I'm taking the money line Patriots. I think they win this game.
I like the under.
I think the Chargers shit the bed. I think Herbert throws a couple of picks in this game. Yep. Jaguars at Seahawks.
Yeah, we can skip
We're going to skip that game. Sorry to any Jaguars or Seahawks fans.
Geno Smith fans.
We're not apologizing for skipping the game. We're apologizing for you being fans of that team.
Your lives.
Washington football team at Broncos.
Fuck this game, too.
God damn it, man. Teddy Bridgewater is finally having that season we all dreamed about. Whatever.
So bad.
Scary Terry's having a pretty good season. 7 games, he's got 550 yards receiving. I mean,
Is Heineke still
that's like a 1,400 yard
slinging it.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball, but Broncos got a good defense. They're playing in Mile High. Weather's going to be shitty that day, so low scoring game. Maybe give a look at the over, but it's only 44.5. So
yeah, but like who's going to score on who? And both have pretty good defenses, right?
Yeah, they do. I mean, Washington will probably score. And Washington's defense has major holes, but is it going to be exposed by Teddy Bridgewater? Probably not. Right. I don't know. I stay away from that one. This next game is pretty interesting because this is one of the games that since he's been back. Since he's been on the Bucs, has given Tom Brady some trouble, right? At the Saints has been a problem for him. Mm-hmm. But this year, I mean, Alvin Kamara is probably going to have a great fucking game. He might have 100 yards rushing and receiving this game, but I don't think they can beat the Buccaneers. And this is Tampa Bay minus 4.5.
Love that.
That's probably exactly where that should be.
Give me the Bucks or the Saints all day. 4.5.
Oh, God.
Famous Jameis going to let up the Bucks secondary. They lose the game, but they lose by 3. Saints cover the 4.5.
It's too close for me to bet money on. I'm not going to bet on that, but I will be watching this game. This is the midday game, the 3:30, 4:30.
The Joe Buck game.
Yeah. I'll have to mute it because I can't stand Joe Buck's fucking voice. Although he might be busy with baseball.
He's on baseball this week.
So they'll have.
He's not doing both.
No,
he's not gonna fly.
He did do that one time. You remember where the Fox had the helicopter following his limo from the Niners game to the San Francisco Giants game for the World Series.
So he's gonna go. He could do New Orleans to fucking Atlanta.
It's not hard. This would be Atlanta, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Either way, I'm not betting this game. I am going to watch it though. This is going to be a really good one. I think the Bucks probably win. I don't know if they win by 4.5.
Right. Sunday night.
Sunday night is Cowboys at Vikings.
Wait, why are the Sunday night games dog shit lately?
The Cowboys are good. Prescott's a little banged up right now.
My complaint's not the Cowboys.
My understanding from
primetime Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, my understanding from people who knew this sort of thing is that Prescott's leg injury is one of those nagging ones that you see guys go through sometime. And what they should do is probably sit him out for 2 weeks, to be honest. They don't need him to beat the fucking Vikings. The Vikings are terrible.
Vikings are -1.
Yeah,
no, Dallas is
-1. But either way, they don't need them to beat the Vikings, and they probably don't need them. They probably don't need them. Need him.
I'm sorry, on DraftKings, the Vikings are -1.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, he may not play. Honestly, if I were the Cowboys at 5-1 right now, I would probably set him and see what happens.
That division's over. You've won it.
Yeah, if they win this week against the Vikings without him, I set him next week at home versus the Broncos as well, and then bring him back in a soft game mid-November against the Falcons.
The line just moved Vikings -1.5 now.
Aren't the Vikings they're on a win streak right now, right? Didn't they win 3 in a row?
The Vikings are fucking terrible.
So here's why I like the Vikings in this game. Because this is the type of game that Kirk Cousins pulls you back in, just enough. Just enough.
Yeah, he does do that.
This is like a random.
Not on national TV. He never does.
Yeah, Rob, you're wrong.
That's true. On national TV, he usually sucks.
He always crumbles.
Honestly, if I'm the Cowboys, I sit Prescott. Let that leg heal, and I sit him this week against the Vikings, and I sit him next week against the Broncos.
They're trying to get that #1 seed. If they lose, I don't think the Bucks are going to lose another game.
Probably not.
Look at their schedule; it's bad.
The Cowboys probably will lose another game, regardless of how they play. You know what I mean? It's either the Cardinals game they're going to lose, or at the Chiefs, even though they've had issues. One of those games they're going to lose. And by the way, you just gave this guy a massive fucking contract. You cannot afford to let him get hurt again like that.
Yeah.
I would set him, but we'll see what happens. What do you think about this game? You said you like the Vikings.
I think this is a Kirk Cousins. Everyone thinks I'm wrong. That's fine. I think this.
But on national television,
he is
bad.
worse. Yeah,
he is terrible.
He's bad.
I'll take the Vikings just because the line doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm going to wait and see what happens here. I want to wait and see if Prescott's playing because this line doesn't make any sense. It seems like they either Vegas believes he's more dinged up than usual, or he's not playing at all. That's what it seems like to me. We'll see. Anyways, Monday night game. This is a dog shit game too.
Yep.
For both teams now. Fuck the Chiefs. I'm tired of their bullshit.
I think the Super Bowl hangover is real.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's what makes, as much as I dislike LeBron James, what he did going to 8 straight finals and playing basically another full season every 4 years worth of basketball games, pretty goddamn impressive. That his body was able to maintain through all that shit. And that year off with the Lakers, I guess, if you want to call that a year off, okay, cool. Like, he's still he's the most dominant basketball player of this generation. I don't want to hear about any of these other guys. Nobody's even close to that dude. It sucks. He's not. I don't think he's the killer. He doesn't have that killer instinct that Kobe and Jordan had. So he's never going to be as good to me in that way. But all these other dickholes these days, it's probably the best. Anyways, Mahomes doesn't look great this year. He's throwing a lot of picks, man. I mean, he said in a press conference earlier this week that he's got to do better. Like, yeah, no shit, bro. I don't know why you even say shit like that out loud. Like, yeah, we got it. You need to do better. Just go do better and stop talking about needing to do better. The Giants suck, right? But the Chiefs' defense has been weak as fuck this year, and Danny Dimes can drop fucking points on people from time to time. What do you think about this game? It's Kansas City minus 9.5, but it's in Arrowhead, so that definitely makes a difference.
I think they roll. Make everyone start to believe again.
Did you think they were going to roll? Yeah, no. Did you think they were going to roll against the Titans?
No. I didn't think they were going to roll against Titans. I didn't think they were going to get rolled against the Titans, though.
I mean, you didn't think they were going to lose by almost 20 to the Bills either, probably, or lose.
So at least with that Bills game, I'll say that score's a little misleading because they got fucked on some late calls, and they had a chance to win that game in the fourth quarter, and then things kind of like spiraled out of control. That's a misleading 20-point loss. The Titans one is the one where it's like, dude, what the fuck? That one was gross. I think the Giants are so bad.
Yeah, I will not watch this game. So.
Saquon Barkley's still out, right? Isn't he out?
Let's check. Probably.
Shit.
Remember, he rolled his ankle and then scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So,
but didn't he sit out? So he's questionable.
Dude, is Kadarius Toney even playing?
Tony is questionable. Kenny Galladay is questionable. Caden Smith, their tight end, and Evan Ingram, both of their tight ends are both questionable.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs to roll.
I mean, 9.5 isn't that much. I'll take them at 9.5, I guess. But if they lose this one, man, goddamn, we need to fucking find this dude, do something. Maybe he should sacrifice his brother to the devil.
You got to think it's all Jackson. Just doing TikTok dances.
That kid's such a piece of shit.
Really, sacrifice him. Don't even make it ceremonial. That sounds like there's going to be like an altar and some sort of dignity.
Just find a fucking volcano somewhere and throw that motherfucker in there.
Yeah.
No pomp or ceremony or any of that bullshit.
That's true. We don't use volcanoes enough.
We don't. I mean, I think they pulled their hearts out, the Aztecs. Yeah, we need more volcanoes.
Cut their hearts out, yeah.
Anyways, let's wrap this one up, boys, because I think we've gone through pretty much every football game that's happened.
That's all the games. Except me and Rob will be back tomorrow morning for Outside the Top 25, where we actually pay attention to our picks. So
we do track those, yeah.
And then me and Giorgio will do the UFC show tomorrow afternoon.
Very good UFC card.
We have an amazing card.
Although we do have a downer for you guys. Bruce Buffer officially out with COVID.
Oh, no. That's sad. You're not going to hear his voice. I wonder who's the replacement. Maybe it's that dude that does the impression of him on Instagram. Have you seen him?
Yeah, they should get him. They fly him in to Dubai, which, by the way, pay-per-view starts or it's not even pay-per-view. It's on ESPN Plus. It's free if you have ESPN Plus. 2:00 Central, I believe.
Are we bringing them watch along with it?
I think we might. I think we might have to.
Might have to do that.
What day is it? Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Midday.
Yeah, I might do that.
That is pretty much, by the way, what SNL did with when what's-his-name died. They just brought in Daryl Hammond to do an impression of him now for the announcements.
Look, that guy, I don't know if you've seen him. I can't remember what his fucking name is on Instagram, but you can, if you search, I'm sure you can find it. It sounds exactly like him. Like, honestly. He doesn't look like him at all. He looks like Jim Norton, to be honest. But he does sound exactly like him.
It's Halloween weekend. Just have a mask.
Just dress up, yeah. Wear the Squid Games mask.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see you in hell.